The second semi-final, lads, Ferns St Aidan's against the Rapparees. I'm going to go to Brendan first. You ran the Rapparees very, very close the other day. How do you think Ferns can beat them?
Well, sure. Ferns like to play with a high intensity, in your face kind of hurling. Like there's nothing simple with Ferns. Like they'll attack everything, and there'll be no easy balls coming out of defences and stuff like that. Like and they've a lot of experienced lads to call on. So I'd give them a good chance now. Ferns, they've kind of turned the corner again. I suppose they've Benny Jordan and these lads are still playing, and I think we'll give them every bit of it now.
And when you were preparing to play the Rapparees, was there any particular tactic you felt was going to get the better of them, or was it just a case of go out and try and beat your man, lads?
Well, sure, obviously, yeah, we try and beat your man, but I suppose we try to hone in on the fact that maybe not allowing sharp hook outs as much to Liam Ryan, maybe let them carry the ball through the lines, stuff like that, try to get our matchups kind of right, but a few of them still were thrown off course. Like Kevin Foley started inside, maybe. Well, I had in my own head, I had an idea he probably might start in there, but went back out, things like that. But we kind of knew that we'd give him a good rattle. As I said, we thought we were getting better with each game, and the younger lads were progressing away. Like Luke Murphy was just outstanding, and he had a couple of great chances. And I thought maybe the only thing for ourselves was maybe a little bit of inexperience on the day was going to catch us. So I think Ferns have plenty of experience though in their team to maybe give them that edge to, maybe they will beat them. Like I'm not sure, but I think it'll be a very close game.
Joe, a couple of weeks ago you managed to hurl the ears off Ferns. Really, I think it was 127 to 315. What weaknesses were you able to expose that day?
We thought when we played them, our biggest thing was they liked the sharp hook out, like Brendan said there, and what we tried to do was either shun them down to one side or let them have the sharp hook out and play it long, or play a long poke out. Now there are a couple of long poke outs really caught us out, and they got 3 good goals off it. But what we found was long range shooting, a good day, we were able to shoot from distance, we were able to get up a good score. Ferns then kind of found it under pressure that way, but they were able to get a couple of goals, they were able to really open us up a couple of times, which was very good because they do have pace in that forward line, I must say. But it'll be an interesting match because the two of them are playing each other in championship, but the two of them like the sharp hook outs and they like going through the lines, so it'll be interesting to see whoever handles that the best. As I'm saying that, they'll let the team have the sharp hook out, and what I mean is shun a player to hit it to an area where you want them to hit it to, so that your extra man is picking it up. So it'll be an interesting battle now, I must say,
Mikey, I didn't really want to bring this up, but you saw last year in the county final the power of the Rapparees, and I suppose how effective they can be when they hit full stride.
Yeah.
Chips must be nice.
No, I may give a big shout out to the Chips too. I got a mate in there, and they're lovely. No, you could eat a lot worse than that. No, that's good.
Oh, we winter.
And yeah, the game was over unfortunately after about 25 minutes. I wasn't playing now. I had an elbow injury, so not that I would have.
That was the difference.
I wasn't going to make a difference. No, jeez, not. But yeah, they're very good. I went into the game against Harriers. They didn't look as good as they were in the county final now. Maybe obviously the Harriers didn't let them look as good. I just wasn't as impressed with them against the Harriers. Maybe, I don't know why, but just something, they weren't moving the ball around as quick. Now, obviously the Harriers had their homework done on them as well. Kevin Foley produced a great bit of skill to set up. I think was it Nick Doyle for the goal. Yeah, like that was a bit of, they needed that. I felt the Harriers were on top. Was it Luke Murphy, is it? Yeah. He was on, like he had a couple of great, he done very well. He went for a goal there, and that game could have been different now. Look, at the good teams find a way, but no, I don't think. I think that's going to be a tough game now, Ferns and the Raps, and they'll need to just up it a bit after the last day, I think.
One thing, a lot of teams, Joe, try to play a sweeper, and a lot of teams think that it's just a case of moving a lad back there behind the half back line and letting things happen. But the Rapparees seem to work the sweeper system as well as any team has in a long time. They seem to all know exactly what to do to play the system effectively.
Well, I have to say Tucker Foley's playing a brilliant system there. When we played him, what they do is they kind of make you play it to the other side. So he sits on one side or he sit on another. They really have it down the last 2 years, and I think that's what's bringing them ahead of everyone. That's what I think got them through the Harriers match. I think that little bit of experience in their game plan. I think that's what's after getting them into a semi-final. But they are after developing that game, and they're really comfortable with it. They know how to play the short puck out, and they know how to get Liam Ryan onto the next ball. They know where they're playing the ball. They know they have Oisin Pepper inside. He's electric. His speed is just, and Lenny on the other side. The two of them, their whole game plan suits everything that they're doing. You know, the sweeper and then two fast inside forwards, and then Kevin Foley and them are able to run around. They're able to run a show there, so they are. So they are just that little bit ahead, I think. You know.
And one thing that Ferns, Brendan, they have a mixture of old and young really, and they have a strong bench. The likes of Benny Jordan to come in, they've Johnny Dwyer there is still flying, lads up in their mid-30s still flying, and they have loads of lads around the age of 19, 20, 21.
Chris Turner and a few lads like that. Like, yeah, there's plenty there. Like, I suppose it's just their attitude and the way they attack a game. Like, you know, everyone is they're all up for it. They're all give it everything. You know, they're all in it together as such. Like, you know, it's cliche as such, but they leave everything out on the field, I suppose. Ferns do every year, and that's why they're always in around the shake-up. Like, you know, and they're hard to beat. I suppose, like, the Raps, I thought last year in particular, you know, when they had Alan Tobin and Nick Doyle like running at defences and creating overlaps, that's when they were at their deadliest. You know, especially in the county final, when they ran through the lines and brought lads into the game, Oisin Pepper and all these lads, like, you know, that's when they created their goal chances. And I think if you leave them plenty of room to hurl, they have hurlers to do damage. So I can't see Ferns doing that. I think Ferns will have everyone locked down on their main. There won't be a whole lot of room given to anyone out there, so I suppose, you know, small margins might change the game, you know, like a goal, a Nick Doyle goal maybe breaking through, or, you know, things like that, you know, is obviously going to be, you know, change the game there or whatever. So
Time to get predictions then, lads. We'll get yours first, Mikey.
Ferns by about 5 or 6 points.
That's a bold prediction.
I just think I have a good feeling about them. Yeah.
Joe?
Yeah, I think I'll agree with Mikey. I think it will be a score fest if the weather's given good, and I think Ferns Pettitt Championship in the league stages, and I think what they'll brought to that match they'll bring again, and I think they will. I won't say 4 or 5, but I'll say 2 or 3.
Yeah, maybe 2 or 3. I haven't seen Ferns. They're going to be good now. I haven't seen them. But I heard the word is good.
Yeah, should look at it again. I said I think it'll be a very close game. I think our game against the Raps might have actually maybe woken them up a little bit more as well. I think prodded the bear, as you say. I think they might take a lot from that. It might bring him on a lot. You know, great win for Ferns at the weekend against Lynn Barntown. You know, they did their job well. You know, got the job done, as I said. But I'm just going to slightly side with the Rapparees, I think, maybe on this one as well.
And I'm going to make it 2-2 and go with the Rapparees as well. I was at the Rapparees Ferns game. The Rapparees were up by 10 points at half time, and Ferns just totally blitzed them in the second half up in Gorey. I don't think the Raps will let it happen again, and that's why I think they'll win by a point or 2.